Hello, RC enthusiasts. My name is Chris, and today I'm going to be giving you a review of the GBY. You can get this from generalhobby.com. Great airplane, well built. The only exception that I found was in the landing gear. The reinforcement is not that strong, so if you get this airplane, I highly recommend you cut into the bottom where the strut goes in and do some reinforcement in there. I have put a Sato 3-cylinder 90cc engine on this airplane, and I did have to do some modifications to the firewall to accommodate this motor. There was a motor mount box initially on the firewall. I had to remove the box, and it left quite a large size hole inside the original firewall. So you can see in here I built and installed a secondary firewall. Actually, I used the original front end of the box here, so you can see how big that box was. So I used that as part of the firewall reinforcement. I also reinforced the inside. You can see this piece of wood here with some L brackets there, and then down below underneath the battery. So the firewall is very well reinforced. I've also have the Keelio exhaust ring, so you get that nice throaty sound with your Sato motor. These motors tend to run a bit warm, so it's really important you get good airflow over the cylinder heads. In the cowling, I have installed some baffles. I'll show you that from the inside. So those openings wrap right around the cylinder heads. I can't take credit for those baffles. I actually got those from a gentleman by the name of Ray English. He's up in Reno. He's the one that made the baffles, and they're actually he made them for the ESM Corsair. So they were slightly smaller than the diameter of this cowling. So I basically used them as a template on some thin wood, and made them a little bit bigger to fit this cowling. Really wasn't that difficult. I've also just converted this airplane to the Jetty system. I have a Jetty transmitter and receiver. The thing I really like about the Jetty system is the telemetry. And one of the things I'm working on, I'm almost completed with this particular airplane. I don't know if you can see that little red line in here on the cylinder head. There's one there, and there's one up here. Those are temperature sensors. I've got one more coming in the mail today. I'll have to mount on the third cylinder head. But they will give you the actual temperature in Fahrenheit or Celsius, whichever you prefer. And you can set alarms so that if the temperature exceeds a certain point, you can have the radio either give you a audible message or a verbal message saying that you've exceeded a temperature limit. Here's the radio over here right now, and you can see on the display the two sensors that are in there right now. One's at 78.1 degrees and one's at 79.2. Now inside the aircraft, I've got fuel tank, smoke tank, got the Sullivan smoke pump, and then over here we've got my Jetty duplex 7-channel receiver, and that is sitting on a SmartFly regulation board. This board was taken from another aircraft, a little more complex, so there's a little more product here than I actually needed. But if you're not familiar with these items, they're a wonderful piece of equipment. You can have up to 3 servos on a single channel. For example, this wire here and this wire here, these are going to both my elevators. but they're actually being operated from a single channel on the receiver. Also on this side over here, the two leads there are for my ailerons. Again, they're on the same channel, yet the board has the versatility to allow you to reverse the direction of one of those servos. So again, I've got both ailerons moving opposite, but they're still just on one channel. This also has the ability to regulate your voltage output. I have my output for the servos and for the motor at exactly 6 volts. It also comes with a, kind of hard to see down there, but there is a fiber optic ignition cutoff system. And the neat thing about the fiber optic is the fact that there's no electrical connection now between the your ignition box and your receiver. So for some reason your ignition should have a malfunction, electrical malfunction, it can't send any bad signals back to and damage your receiver because it's all fiber optic. Oh, one last thing, we got a fail-safe switch. Fail-safe switch allows you to, once you turn the model on, if something should happen to the wiring on the switch, if the wiring got broken, snapped, whatever, the unit stays on continuously. The only way you can turn it back off at that point is to unplug your 2 batteries. You do have redundancy on this system. And I have the 2 batteries for my onboard system are back there towards the further back in the fuselage. With the Saito motor, it tended to be a little bit nose heavy, so I had to put the batteries that far back. But it's nice to have the redundancy. I also like running the lithium ion batteries. You get a lot of flight time with those batteries. And again, you're dropping it down to 6 volts with the control board. So part B will be on Saturday. I will take you to the airfield, and we'll see how she flies. Thanks for watching.